Hi, my beautiful friends. I'm Shannon Nerrill, and I'm enabling people to end food addiction, step into their power, and manifest radiant health. So, I'm gonna go back to some of the things I talked about in my last video since there were some technical issues, but I'm gonna also be adding on here. We were talking about confidence, self worth, and why it is that this tends to be such a common root issue for so many people, and for so many people who are dealing with food controlling their life. Um, so let's think about one of the tips I shared with you, which is that a sign of somebody who is possessing real confidence is going to be focusing on what they truly need to maintain balance, to maintain feeling centered in themselves, versus when somebody is living their life where it's all about what they want, what feels exciting, desires basically. And this is a very paradoxical thing because on the surface, when somebody is, let's say, allowing themselves to have whatever they want, so in a sense that should come along with a sense of freedom, right? That a person is allowing themselves to have whatever they want. However, what we see really is that when someone's living their life that way, they become enslaved to their desires, to their food desires, to their sex desires, whatever it is. They literally become enslaved and they lose their power. Versus somebody who learns this level of self-mastery where they can differentiate between the desires and between the deeper needs that are a nurturing, a nourishment from the deeper self or the higher self that one needs for balance, that one needs to feel centered, for that one needs to feel connected to themselves so that they are going to make the decisions, that they're going to have the power to override those desires and make the decisions that are going to be supporting their higher self, supporting the life that they want for themselves, the way of being that they want for themselves. And so on the surface, it seems that that could sort of be limiting because a person has to have discipline. And yet, it's that discipline, it's those boundaries that actually create the real freedom that a person is wanting. And so, this is where we can see how beliefs, limiting beliefs, that a person internalized, usually at a younger age, can be really the biggest block to a person making this switch. We talked about this in terms of limiting beliefs around self-worth and self-esteem because it's a perfect example and it's one of the most common examples. But it really can apply to one's beliefs around if they're a good learner, if they're smart. I mean, and these are actually can be subdivisions of self-esteem. So just to shed a little bit more light on that, we need to understand that we have internalized the beliefs of of our parents. Whatever beliefs they had, likely at a young age, just became our beliefs because we don't separate ourselves from them in our consciousness when we are younger. And not only that, but like a mother who had low self-esteem, she doesn't even possess that state of confidence. And so she doesn't have the ability to teach that state to her child if she doesn't possess it for herself. And not only that, but the experiences, the messages we get through our experiences are going to be internalized, and the experiences are going to generally reflect the beliefs that our parents had and that our parents passed on to us, usually unconsciously, unless a parent is consciously cultivating and making a decision and an intention to really foster equality. Then someone who is at that level, a parent, is going to also know that they need to work on it in themselves if something is lacking. So we want to be, when we're starting to go in and realize the beliefs that we may have internalized, we have to back up and we have to actually have a basic assumption, or we learn to correct an incorrect assumption. And that is around the idea of having everything we need to become everything we want to be. This is a truth that really needs to be internalized by each and every one of us. And in this case, we can really work backwards. We can really work on the belief that every person, including ourselves, has all of the resources we need to become whoever we want to be, to live our life however we want to live it. And as an aside here, to know that really what's blocking that is whatever's going on inside of our head, is whatever beliefs contradict that, usually unconscious beliefs. So we want to start, one way to start is really just by recalling experiences that can provide proof, validation for the fact that we do have these resources, that we have accomplished things, that we have been successful in certain ways, because we are meaning-making machines, and so we can make meaning that is going to disempower us, or we can make the meaning that is going to empower us, and that's what we do. That is automatically happening all the time. We delete information that is not serving us. We make assumptions. We tend to not give people the benefit of the doubt. So all of these processes are happening all the time in an unconscious way. We can use these processes and make them conscious in order to shift the beliefs that we had that were disempowering to beliefs that were empowering. So basically, we want to start deleting consciously that information that may be reinforcing the negative beliefs. So yes, if we internalize the belief of low self-worth, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, so yeah, there are going to likely be experiences, we call these table legs, that hold up that belief. And so we likely had experiences that then just reinforce the belief more and more. Again, maybe the parent had the belief, but that energy attracts situations that reinforce it. So here we have all these situations, proofs that we are using to feel justified in how we believe. And right there is where it needs to stop. We need to, just like we delete other information, so we need to consciously delete the information that's not serving us and begin to focus on the information that is serving us. So here you can begin by thinking of experiences where you succeeded, thinking of experiences where you were confident, let's say around a certain person or in a certain area, but you focus on these experiences, these proofs of the new belief, and you begin to delete, literally, the old justifications. Now, some people can do this more easily, intuitively, during meditation, just taking time for reflection every day. But other people really benefit and begin to move a lot quicker with just some simple techniques to release the old beliefs, to release the old experiences. Forgiveness can be really big here on oneself, on other people. So there's techniques for this forgiveness, but I'm giving you hopefully just a lot so you can try to work with this. So just to sum it up here, what I'm saying, a few of the main points is about beginning to, you can make this your mantra that we have all the resources we need to be who we want to be the highest version of ourselves. And then we go through a process of then cultivating awareness. There's many techniques that help a person very quickly begin to become aware. I see it happening, honestly, so quickly in my clients using these techniques, where all of a sudden they become aware of a limiting belief that has been limiting them their whole life. And then really the awareness is more than halfway there, because then we begin to dissolve and release those beliefs. And then just one of the tips I gave you about starting to delete the old information, starting to get new evidence and focus on that, that is already part of one of the techniques that you can start doing to begin to increase your confidence, your self-worth, knowing that you have so much value to give, that you can become whoever you want to be, and that you have the power to shift, to make these shifts, and to begin to release whatever is disempowering and choose what is empowering, the beliefs. And then another step that I'm not going to get into here is your internal state, how you feel. This is also in your power. There's a whole feeling state that goes along with lack of self-confidence. So you can learn the new feeling state of confidence so that really in a short period of time, this area of confidence and self-worth can radically shift in your life and can be the beginning, the foundation of big changes in relation to food, in relation to what I said about honoring and having the discipline where it's not difficult to give yourself what you need for balance, for alignment, for feeling centered and knowing the choices that are going to support the highest version of yourself versus this free way of allowing yourself whatever you want and feeling enslaved to your desires. So I'm going to close it there. If any of you would like support and are serious about moving forward on this journey from disempowered to feeling that you're living empowered and manifesting your vision, you can sign up for a free breakthrough call, and I can help you really get clear on what hasn't been working and what you can do to move forward. So I'm going to put that link below. Have a beautiful day. I hope this was helpful for you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.